welcome back to my channel. My name's Lexi and today I got my September book wrap up. So this month I read a total of 4 books, which isn't good, but it's not bad because one of the books is 564 pages long, so I pretty much count this as like 2 books. So I'm just going to quickly go through them, tell you a little bit about them, and let you know if I like them or not, and how many stars I gave them. So, I'm going to start off with this first honkin' book right here. This is The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna, and I'm pretty sure everybody's seen this book around, and because I know when I was looking up, like, people's top 10 favorite books of all time, this was in it, and when I was looking up, like, books that made you cry, because I was really wanting to I really wanted to read something that was gonna like jerk at my heartstrings. So everybody said this was the book to read. I read it and I gave it I think I gave it a 4.5 out of 5 stars. Wasn't my favorite book in the world. It didn't make me cry like it made a whole bunch of other people cry. Like, yeah, there was a lot of sad stuff in this book, but it didn't make me cry. Like, I was just like almost crying, but I wasn't like sobbing a river of tears while I was reading this. It just tells the story of 2 sisters about how they are on their 2 different paths so that they can pretty much just get through the war. It says, 2 sisters separated by years and experience, by ideal prisons and circumstances, each working on her own dangerous path towards survival, love, and freedom in German-occupied France. So, that's pretty much the little summary of this. I really like this book. I like the characters. I was attached when things were rough. I felt for them. I felt like I really knew the characters. I think the only reason why I didn't give it a 5 out of 5 stars is because there was a couple places where you read for a very, very long time about how, okay, I don't think this is a spoiler. I mean, like, I'm not going to tell you what it is, but anyways, one of the sisters goes on a very long walk. Very long. And it tells about the struggle of getting there, how dangerous it was, how bloody it was, how, hard it was, and then you get to where you're going, and then the next page it's like, I'm back in France. And it took literally like a chapter to get all the way to where she was going, and then the next she's just back. So I wish it would have told the struggles of getting there and back, because obviously you're not just going to get there and drop whatever it is off and then come right back. Like, it's not that easy. So I wish they would have done that a little bit, but other than that, this is a really good book. It has love in it, and I kind of liked that because it wasn't like a mushy-gushy love book. It was just, it was in there, and it was in there well. It wasn't like anything that was like overpowering to make you want to put the book down. The next book that I read was, should I go in the order of, okay, I'll go in the order. A Monster Calls by Patrick Ness. Now, this was another short book that everybody was like, read, 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 read. I was like, okay, I'll read it. So I read it, and this one actually has like pictures inside of it. So it made the read go really fast, which I liked. It was a good short story. Pretty much this is about a boy's mother who is going through treatments. She has cancer, and it's just a boy's mother. His name is Connor, and she's going through treatments, and pretty much Connor has this truth that he is hiding, and a monster comes walking, and he tells Connor that he's going to tell him 4 stories, like 4 short tales about different things, and then at the end of his stories he is going to want Connor to tell his story about his truth. So it just takes you on like an adventure kind of with like 4 different stories. So I gave this book a 3 out of 5 stars because I don't think that this was like my favorite book ever. So I like the art though. Then The next book that I read after that was I Am Legend by Richard Matheson. I can't say that, Matheson. This is about a guy, Robert Neville. He is the last living man on Earth. If you've seen the movie, it's kind of like the movie, but this book, it's like different. There's not the same. The movie did not portray this book the way that it is told in this story, so I think if you've seen the movie, you should still read the book because it's different, but it's about a last man on Earth. Gus, get down. It's about the last guy on Earth. His name's Robert Neville, and he's not alone. Everybody else has turned into a vampire, so they come out at night. And so by day, Neville has to, like, my cat's walking around. By day, Neville has to, like, go out and hunt and get supplies and set up and put, like, garlic around his house and make sure he has crucifixes and all this stuff. And then at night, he locks himself in there and he can't go outside because they will kill him. So that's pretty much, it's just a man living his own lonely life in a world of vampires. So I would read it. It was pretty good. I probably gave this like a 4 out of 5 stars. Then the last book that I read was The Wolves of Winter by Tyrell Johnson. I think that's how you say his name. This book was pretty good. I'm just going to read the back because this book's kind of hard to explain. Forget the old days. Forget summer. Forget warmth. Forget anything that doesn't help you survive in the endless white wilderness. Why can I not say that? The endless white wilderness beyond the edges of a fallen world. Lynn McBride, her name's Gwendolyn in this story, but we call her Lynn. Lynn McBride has learned much since society collapsed in the face of nuclear war and the relentless spread of disease. As the memories of her old life continue to haunt, she's been forced to forge ahead in the snow-drifted Canadian Yukon, learning how to hunt and trap and slaughter, but now her fragile existence is about to be shattered. A stunning debut, The Wolves of Winter. Okay, it's a debut. They were in Chicago when a flu had outbroke after the nuclear war, and everybody was dying off, so they packed all their stuff up and they moved into this place in the Yukon, and they lived there, and then they just hunt and gather and just, you know, they're living in this snow-covered wilderness. It's just snowy for miles, and so you have, like, when you want to go somewhere, you have to build an igloo or you're gonna die outside. Like, I gave this also 4 out of 5 stars. I thought that it was really good. The writing was easy to read. It was really fast. For me, I'm not a very good reader, so when I can, like, fly by a book in a couple days or, like, a week, you know, it's pretty nice. The writing, it was really easy to understand, really fast. I really liked this book. It's not my favorite, but it wasn't bad, and it kept me interested the whole time. So, and then lastly, I'm just going to mention something real quick. I started this book, and I am 80 pages in, so I'm just going to talk about it in this because I read a little bit of it. It's The Cabin at the End of the World. Books and Lala, I cannot ever think of her name. I'm going to have to find that out. But I'll put a picture of her up right here with her channel. Books and Lala, this is like one of her favorite thrillers of the year so far, I believe. And also Gabby Reads. She's my favorite YouTuber. I love her. So I've watched so many of her videos, and she recommended this book. So this is going to be my first book of October to read because I'm in, like, spooky thriller, I want to be scared book time, you know. Books and Lala, I cannot ever think of her name. I'm going to have to find that out. But I'll put a picture of her up right here with her channel. Books and Lala, this is like one of her favorite thrillers of the year so far, I believe. And also Gabby Reads. She's my favorite YouTuber. I love her. So I've watched so many of her videos, and she recommended this book. So this is going to be my first book of October to read because I'm in, like, spooky thriller, I want to be scared book time, you know. This is about two dads So it's like two dads and a daughter. I haven't really learned their names yet because I'm just like now getting into the book, but the daughter's name is Wen, and the two dads' names are Eric and Andrew, and they go out to go vacation at this cabin in, where is it? New Hampshire. So they go there to camp in New Hampshire for a week, I believe, and they are just way in the boons. Like, I'm pretty sure they're in Canada. Far from the bustle of city life, cut off from the urgent hum of cell phones and from the internet, and they are more than 2 miles away from the closest neighbors. So they are on vacation. They are far away from anybody. There's no phone signal, no Wi-Fi, no nothing. So if something happens, what are you going to do? Well, people show up. They look dangerous, but they apparently just want to talk because they want them to help not end the world. Like, they need their help to stop the world from ending, and I haven't read much, so I don't really know what's going on or what's going to happen, but it seems interesting. I'm about 80 pages in. It's really good so far. I'm going to keep reading, and this is going to be my first book of the month. So yeah, anyways, that is it. That's all I got for you. I might do an October TBR, but I did my Spookathon TBR, and honestly, like, that's already a lot of books. I probably won't complete that, but maybe I'll just do a wrap up instead. But since it's already almost October, or maybe I will. Who knows what I'm gonna post on here? I don't even know. So I'm just going with the flow. I work like a full-time job, so I hope, I do other stuff too. I don't just do a full-time job, so I'm just doing this on the side. Like, I hope I can make y'all happy. Anyways, I hope you like this video, and I will see you in my next one, okay? Bye!